Peter, did you enjoy that one today?
I enjoy it, yeah. I always enjoy a win. The manner in which we got the win was great. The goals we scored, the chances we created, how strong we looked, and the way we finished, the way we had subs as well. As the previous weeks, we haven't had that many subs. So it's good to get a few players back and be able to rest a couple of those players that played really well, take them off and bring on the likes of the Leighton and Brennan. Even if we had a trialist came in today and did really well, and bring Ben Johnson on at the end and shored it up for us. So it's quite pleasing.
It had everything for a derby, didn't it? It was a real derby match today.
It was very competitive. Yeah, it was a good derby for us because we came out on top. But just a bit more competitive today, which I was really pleased about. Both teams going at it. Plenty of fight from both teams, battling, and we came out on top, which is great. But I'm sure the fans have come and seen that from even both sides and really enjoyed it. So, but obviously the Annan side, they won't enjoy it so much.
You talked previously about how every game is different, and it's about how they deal with things and different challenges during games and things. I'm sure you must be proud of them tonight.
I am, especially after what we spoke about last week against Cove, who I thought came here and were excellent in the way they moved the ball, and I thought we were a bit passive. Whereas today we knew we had the battle, and I thought we won the battle today, and hence the reason why we've scored from a set piece and managed to score on a counter attack near the end of the game when the game's getting a bit stretched. So really pleasing. But again, it's up. I do say it's up to those players to be recognising situations in the game. Every game's different, and can we learn? I have the likes of Matty Douglas and Benjamin Lusson when I'm asking questions about certain things during the week. They're invariably answering the majority of them because they've worked with me before. Whereas I hope to get to the point where, the players that I've inherited and the players I've brought in, they're getting to the point where they're answering it. In their head, they go, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about." And then that's great because when we get onto the park, you don't have to be shouting from the side as much because the players have took that on board and they know what we're doing.
It was a frantic start to the game.
It was, but I thought we started really well. I didn't think we started the second half very well. So that's something we needed to improve on. But I thought the game was frantic, especially for our midfielders in there, because it was quite congested. But I felt like we worked really hard and we swarmed Annan, for large periods of the game. And on the other side, I thought Annan were very good as well. So we managed to keep them quiet. They're good players quiet, although I think Tommy Goss had a really powerful header at the back post in the first half, and Ross Stewart makes an outstanding save. He hasn't really been called upon too much, but he's made an outstanding save down that end. In the second half, up the top end, he makes another great save right near the end when we're 2-0 up. And that could have changed the course of the game. If it gets to 2-1 in the last 5 minutes, anything can happen, but he snuffs that out and did really well. So, Annan came here wanting to prove, like we say before, we had the Willie Gibson scenario. Used to be a manager here, now manager there, and there's a few ex-Queen of the South players, and they'll always want to come and show how good they are, and I thought they did, but we were just that bit better today.
With that kind of background with it, you coming here and the players moving around and things, are you glad that this one's out the way, really? The first one's out the way now?
Not really, it's another game. No, it's another game. I know you want me to say yeah, but it's another game. No matter what time of the season you're going to have to play someone, especially the likes of Annan. But I was more pleased with the day that we had a group of players off the park that we could count on to come on and call on to come on to the park. So that was a good improvement. Whereas we have been very thin over the first two games, and we still have players to come back. And the younger players that have been playing and learned a lot, they'll improve as players. So again, I'm going to keep saying it to you that we're building, we're getting better, but I think there's a lot more to come from us. But we need to be patient too. We need to be patient.
When you have players like Leighton back and Brennan back to come off the bench, that must make you think, great, we are getting these players back. And
we are, but it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks maybe for them to get up to the pace of the games as well. We had Carl Docherty, who played today, started, and we had to take him off in the end. I felt he was getting a little bit tired, but with his previous injury that he's had, the hamstring injury, we thought it was great that we can take him off and rest him, whereas previously we couldn't. So it's good to bring the likes of Leighton on and Brennan. You get about half an hour, I think it was, into their legs. So that in essence is, a little mini bit of the pre-season games when you're saying like just get them a few minutes, then take them out, and then they can maybe get a little bit longer. But we'll see how this week of training develops as well, because anything can happen. As I said, we lost Sander Craig today, which is really unfortunate. So we'll see how we are Monday.
Will be a lot of tired players out there today, because there was a lot of them put in a very hard shift.
There was, but the thing about it, they will be tired now tonight, and they've earned their little rest tonight. But on the other side of that, we looked strong. We finished stronger and looked stronger and fitter than the Annan side, and we should. But the players will deserve the rest. But we still need to keep up that level, that standard, and maybe go even further.
They have set a standard for themselves now.
Let's just see, Sandra. We
had some players coming off the bench. There was a trialist involved, so that means that you're still looking to bring players in.
We are, because as I said, if we lose 2 or 3 players or 4 players, we then look very weak again. So we need to be looking at the right players to be bringing in, a couple of different options and different dynamics, depending on the profile of the player that we can bring in, and budget willing. So still a bit of business to do, but we need to take our time to do that business.
Next week, Montrose in front of the TV, later kick-off. Does it mean your preparations have to be different, or?
I think the only preparation is different is because it's travel. We'll still approach this week in the same manner we have in the last few, and hopefully we have a good squad to pick from. We go up there. Montrose are always a difficult team to play against. They're well organised, and they're always thereabouts. So it'll be another good test. We'll see how we get on.
A different test again.
A different test again. This league throws up so many different challenges week in and week out that you've got to be prepared for them all.
Clean sheet and sitting second on the table, 7 points from 9. Decent start.
It's a good start. I'll take it.